Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, just leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on? Sorry, I've got my cat here. Her job is to sit and purr, and she's busy doing the happy feet right now, and so she's kind of in the zone here. A cat's purr raises the vibration to even lower blood pressure. So I figured we could all use that, although sometimes I wonder. All right, we have the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and this is talking the underlying energy is about being in a mental prison and wanting to get out of a mental prison and how to get out of a mental prison. So this is representing the element of swords, of air I mean, and swords represent the air, and it's talking about your mental intelligence, your mind, your discipline of your mind, and your thoughts. And you express your thoughts in words or in the written word, and verbal or written, sorry. And this is talking about feeling duty bound in some way. So this person feels like they can't figure out a solution to the problem because they feel duty bound in some way about something, and they just can't see a way, like an answer to the problem that is going to be one that's acceptable to all involved, kind of energy. And then we have at the bottom here, we have water, and I feel like at one point there was way more water here, and as this person was working on each of these thoughts and put them behind her, the water was dissipating. And because water in tarot represents emotions, she has her right foot forward on dry land now, and she also has her left foot still is stuck in a puddle, but the puddle is shallow. I'm not saying her emotions are shallow, but there's way less emotion there than there was before. And so this is talking, she's worked through 9 of these swords, 9 thoughts. And there's just this one left, or sorry, like this is the 8, 7 of these swords, and this is the 8th one left. So she, this is the one that she's moving forward with. And she's, as soon as she figures that out, she's going to probably step out of that puddle and move forward. And so this is talking about kind of like your mind being caught in a loop. And what's important to remember is that the swords are actually, your mind is it's a double-edged sword. So you need to use your logical mind as well as your intuition to be able to come to creative solutions. And I feel like this could also be saying that there could have been some information coming in from behind her back, thoughts of other people talking about her behind her back and putting their thoughts in there. Maybe people had coming up with advice that didn't know the full story possibly and wanted to give their 2 cents in the situation, and it was just so much opinion and all of that that it ended up being. Or it could be people who were saying nasty things behind her back, whichever that is. And we do have, well, this is good to see, we have the energy of the Empress. The Empress is all 4 queens from the Minor Arcana rolled into one person. She becomes this way from going through this kind of a situation of having the life experience, to be able to work through a lot of different areas of life. So the pentacles, the swords, the wands, and the pentacles. So but the Empress is highly, she's like a generator of energy. Quite often she like this wheat at her feet represents an energy of being able to produce at a very high level. She, like the wheat, if she was about to plant some or wanted to grow some wheat, she would look into it. Which field am I going to put it in? Which is the best location for it? What do I need to do? Amend the soil? Do I need to fertilize? What do I need to do? Pick the stones so that when harvest time comes around, the expensive machinery isn't damaged, and then plant it at the most ideal time. Sorry, all of a sudden I'm coughing. I don't know why. This is talking about, then planting it at the best possible time, and then relying on nature just to do its thing. The Empress is representative of, like, some people consider her to be pregnant with possibilities. So there's a lot, she has very high manifestation properties, a generator of energy, like high energy individual. And then we have the Judgment. So Judgment is coming in on some level, or wants to come in. This is regarding coming from the spiritual realm into the physical. The trumpet is blowing, and the ancestors are cheering. So this is something maybe that your ancestors that have crossed the veil have been waiting for judgment to be called on a situation. And it's regarding the Empress. Perhaps the Empress is a descendant of theirs. And like the descendants are waving to the ancestors across the water here, the troubled water. So maybe it has something to do with that. And this is talking about, you know, the judgment coming through for more than one generation. So this can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, or possibly even Pandora's box being opened and nobody can shut it again now that it's been opened. Okay, so this is the energy. Someone's been, so either you're the Empress energy and this is where you're at, and this is what the judgment, this is what happened to you, and this is the judgment being called on that, or you're the Empress that caused this, or, you know, energy to happen. We'll see what's going on. So this is talking about, like, it's either, it doesn't have to be that way, but it's kind of like, why is this energy, the judgment is in between these two? We'll keep going. We don't know for sure yet. This energy is talking about, maybe this is the Empress's energy because she knows something about what happened to this, and it's someone she knows possibly. Because the Empress usually wouldn't involve herself in something like this unless she's totally not in the up and up. And generally the Empress is, because she's learned all the lessons, you know, already in life the hard way. So why would she want to repeat it? It doesn't make sense. So anyway, this is talking about, you know, it's a pretty bleak energy. This is talking about being left for unalive, been stabbed in the back at least 10 times. This could be over a decade. It could be one person 10 times, maybe once a year for fun. I don't know. The energy is also could be like 10 different people, or even 10 groups of people. The thing is that we see the little bit of light here with the dark, and this energy can represent, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. So this is representing the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, death and rebirth kind of energy. And we have the right hand is in the form of a blessing, which is the same as what the Hierophant, who's in charge of justice on the planet from the spiritual realm. Oh, and look who's here, the Hierophant. There he is, right there with the blessed sign of a blessing. So this could be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, if the Hierophant's involved, it means that this judgment is coming down to earth, right? Like it's on its way right now. The Hierophant represents traditional structure, and it talks about bringing that justice down, like on a religious level. Like if you're a religious person, it could mean, this could represent the Pope, the Cardinal, you know, the bishops, the gurus, whatever the top, whoever is the top people in your church, basically in your religion. If you're more on a spiritual level, this would represent God himself and going straight to source without the intermediary, and through meditation and prayer. And that energy is now brought into the physical realm. And so this would represent, it could be judges, you know, the legal system in general, like the structure of the legal system, the courts, all of that kind of energy. Whoops. Okay, we'll take this one first. Okay, the heartbreak. They both jumped out. What else? Okay, well, we see. Okay. So this is talking clearly about some sort of heartbreaking decision needs to be made. And it looks like, you know, this is a real disturbing card when you see there's 3 swords in someone's heart. And it's like, whoa, how are they going to recover from this? But then when you look again, you realize, hey, the heart is really big in context to the swords. So these could be more like pinpricks or nails. So there might be a chance of recovery here. And this card quite often represents some sort of heartache, some heartbreaking decision, sometimes a heartbreaking decision needing to be made. And I feel like in this case, it's something regarding someone that you love, knowing that someone that you love has caused this energy on someone, which is like, this is not like someone kind of sort of doesn't like someone. This is trying to take someone down and out, basically. And there's judgment being called on this situation. And so this also can represent harsh words being spoken and gossip and slander, and can actually represent perjury in court. This card can represent not just a mental prison, but can actually be a physical prison. In context with the cards here, we've got judgment, we've got a very malicious situation here, a Hierophant bringing in the justice. We have a heartbreaking decision needing to be made. Maybe someone will go to prison if someone speaks up. Maybe someone committed perjury in court for someone, that kind of energy. Yeah, this is like weird energy. And then walking away. And this can also represent that you might have had a lover, that there was a third-party involvement. There's a couple here, and this third-party involvement. So, and then here we have like these 5 cups lined up perfectly, and then 2, a gap in 1. So this could represent like 8 years or more, and in between there's a gap, and sometimes this can represent a third party coming into the relationship and causing a gap. And now you're walking away, or the person is walking away. Either way, it's like done. Like, I'm not putting it, I feel like the Empress is walking away from this situation. We just had eclipse season, and that kind of is represented here with the full moon and the new moon. The eclipse season was February 17th and March 3rd. Eclipse season is like potpourri on the back burner of your stove. It's subtly, aroma is there, but it's kind of in the background, and you don't really notice until like 6 months later, the energy can be there. And if you look back 6 months after an eclipse season, quite often you'll realize, holy, there was a lot of significant change. And that's what this is talking about. Like, this is talking away about the cups represent love, and quite often romantic love, but sometimes they could represent walking away from a business or that kind of energy, something that you love to do or love to be, or walking away from a family member. You know, it doesn't have to be romantic love, but quite often with this card, it is like saying that third party energy. It could be both. But this is saying that a significant change is happening because you're walking away, the other person walked away, something to do with that. Yes, and then someone was left out in the cold because of this energy. So this is, this is like... this card represents an energy of there could be tactics that cause this person to be in this position, and someone is maybe, it's being found that someone is responsible for this, maybe is the leader of this energy. This energy talks about tactics being taken to take someone down to this level where they don't really see any hope anymore. They're homeless. They don't have anything that, they don't have, you know, this person's on crutches and they're wearing a plague bell. And so the plague bell, in the old days, they didn't have apps to isolate people from society and give them, you know, like put them out in the cold, not make it so that they can't earn a living, that no one will talk to them, that there's nowhere for them to go, and they have no way of earning any money, because like if you're wearing a bell and it's ringing when you come in town and everybody's running in the opposite direction, it's probably unlikely that you're going to get you know, job or something. And this person doesn't even have shoes on, they're walking in the snow. So this is talking about an energy of, there's not enough pentacles here to support one person, let alone 2. And the snowflakes falling are representing, you know, a bunch of people gathering together to cause this to happen. So it's about a concerted effort being made by several people to put someone in a position where their reputation is ruined. People start talking like gossip, slander, untruths being said, so it's to the point where this person becomes totally isolated and doesn't have any options. And sometimes this can speak of a lot of corruption at the higher levels, because the justice system isn't working for this individual. Yeah, it's kind of, okay, so we're going to keep going here. You know, it's interesting because we have the Empress here and we have the Hierophant, and these are both like traditionally very, like this would be a judge energy, and this would be someone who's like held very highly in society. People really look up to this person. And yet every other card about this is about judgment and that kind of energy, and everybody's miserable. And this is not usually the energy that the Empress is in. So this could be, the Empress could be someone who's in, has a lot of power and has abused it in some way to cause this to happen to another person, or to influence other people to put someone in this situation. We'll keep going and see. We have an energy here of, okay, so this is talking about someone who recognizes that maybe they're standing at the turret of their castle, they have been successful, but they feel like a big fish in a little pond, and it might be time to move on to different horizons. Sometimes this feels like to me an entrepreneur energy, and maybe someone wanting to franchise their business or something. They've been successful here, so why not? And they realize, like, this is about, I have the world in my hands, but you know, they're still where they grew up possibly, and you know, there's it's hard to be a hero in your own hometown, and there's maybe not enough people here to extend your business. Like, there's not enough clients, you need to go to a bigger center or open another location somewhere else. This could be having a passion for wanting to bring someone into your life, you know, as a partner, like not wanting to be single anymore, that kind of energy. We'll see some more what's going on here. We have a never-ending nightmare. Could be wanting to leave because you can't see ever being able to move forward in this location again after your reputation being put down to this level. How am I ever going to fix this heartache, this heartbreak? You know, this is about going out, taking like consistent steps of action to ruin someone else's life, to ruin their reputation, to ruin their business, to ruin their family life, to ruin the neighbors, you know, everybody's suspicious, rumors, gossip, slander, gang stalking, that kind of energy. It's a concerted effort. And so this is talking about a never-ending nightmare, and how is it going to change unless you move? And that's perhaps what they want, is for you to move. And so this is kind of the energy coming here. Having said that, the universe, the symbols on this quilt are cosmic symbols, and it's saying the universe does have you covered. And so sometimes this can represent your intuition waking you up. Maybe you've had a dream or something and you've been praying, and this is the answers are coming to you in your dream, and maybe the ancestors are trying to connect with you in that manner, because quite often ancestors will too. And I'm getting they're not resting until this is straightened out. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is representing a lot of opportunities. And in this case, I feel like it could be missed opportunities, and that's what this is about. Or stolen opportunities. Like, these opportunities were meant for you, but you were busy being in this position and this position. And maybe that's why the Empress looks like she's an Empress now, is because she took the opportunities that were supposed to be for you. And, you know, this is like spoiled for choice, like, and, you know, you're in despair because you have no way of you don't see any way of getting out of this situation. It's like too many people are involved now, and, you know, there could be a lot of corruption involved in this energy. This is sometimes spoiled for choice. And then this is talking about, okay, so you come out of this victorious in the end, right, through some miracle. So this is talking about you reined your emotions in, you disciplined your mind. It's sitting right on this energy. And you went to God and asked for justice. And that's every day, that's your goal, praying, I want justice, I want justice, I want justice, I want justice. And the ancestors are also on the other side of the veil are also, you know, we want justice. Everybody wants justice. This is the energy. And so the situation, it shows that it might be turning around a little bit, because this could represent the competition here, having to recognize that, okay, well, like this person is in a leadership role. Maybe these people are starting to realize that the information they were told about you is like wasn't true, and they start to notice maybe that this Empress is having all these gifts coming in that look like what you were working on before you ended up in this position. It's kind of that energy. So this could be about something you love to do or be as well. And we have the Queen of Wands. So this is talking about, okay, so this is talking about this energy. So you may be the Queen of Wands energy. The Queen of Wands is someone who's, you know, optimistic about life. And you would have to be that kind of person to be able to get up from this. So this is talking about someone who's just naturally optimistic and happy because they follow the sun. And the sun represents God. And the sunflower here represents turning with the sun. The veil in the back is representing the spiritual realm as well as the physical, and the intellect as well as like your logical mind as well as your intuition for creative solutions. So you must have come up with some pretty good creative solutions. You do have some people now on your side. They're seeing, hey, this is too much of a coincidence. All of a sudden, this person is doing what this person was working on, and a lot of this would have to be over a certain amount of time, because this energy is like where people are recognizing on their own that what they were told about you does not reflect your behavior, because now you're presenting yourself as a leader, and not like I'm just getting not lowering your standards to come down to the level of the people that put you in this position. So yeah, it's it's moving, like it's changing. It's not as bad as it was here. I'm building a pyramid. This is kind of what's happening, and this is the obstacles that you've overcome. So it looks like your whatever advice you got from the dreams you were having, and the persistence I feel of your ancestors. For whatever your ancestors are pissed off. I can feel that energy. They're like angry. Oh, and look at this. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and it's interesting because it did come upside down. I don't take upside down cards or reverse. I read them in context with each other, but I feel like this was talking about this energy here is now like this. This is what you were supposed to be in, and this is what you were in. And so when it comes to Pentacles, so this energy, when justice comes in, this will be returned to you 100-fold. So eventually it's going to come in, and you're going to be back in the Empress position that maybe you were intended to be in when you, completed what you were doing before you were put in this position. That's the kind of energy. So this is, the Pentacles do represent money, but they represent lifestyle as well. So this is, and sometimes this can be like a card of saying like it's a wild card kind of energy where you get through the, like it could be like it's saying like if you are involved in some sort of legalities involving money, that kind of energy that it's going in your favor. And then, yeah, then we have a new cycle. Woohoo! So this is taking that leap of faith. Gonna go back out there again. Okay, so this is a brave soul, and this is talking about like the tattered sleeves here though are saying that the Fool is starting on a new cycle, but it's not like they haven't been on a cycle before. So this is talking about being able to bring in what you learned from this energy into the new cycle, and the sun is shining down on that, and it's like letting go of it and starting off and choosing to be like cheerful and innocent and okay, I'm going to be back in my, I feel this is your natural energy, not this. This is really bad. This is like illegal, It's like going to a lot of extremes here to put someone in this position. And yeah, and here's the transition. And I think the transition is happening because you did not succumb to the energy. And so this is talking about, you know, death and rebirth, coming into like this change that you're in right now on this energy. It's changed to going on a new journey as a leader now, and people starting to see that. And actually, I don't really get the impression that you really care what other people think so much, except that it's your reputation moving forward, you know, that it's being repaired, and that it's, I don't think you personally care about the energy. It's not a personal matter for you, because maybe you don't even know what all was said, and maybe you found out now, and that's why you ended up in this position. And that there was like a lot there. This is at least 10 people involved, and it could be way more than that. It could be 10 different groups of people. It depends on how much. This is a lot of money. The 10 of Pentacles, I mean, that's the most money you can get in the tarot. Like, we're talking like billionaire level, you know. So it's money worth doing, you know. A lot, for some people, some people will do anything for money. So this energy is talking about the Grim Reapers now coming through town and saying, I'm collecting some debts here. And the older person here is saying, we don't want you in town. Like, can I give you, how much money do you want? Because this is someone that figures out everything's about money. And the Grim Reaper just laughs. Ha ha ha. You really believe that that's what I want? I'm just joking. The Grim Reaper is not an evil character. The Grim Reaper is just a representation that many cultures use to represent this energy of death and rebirth. And so the tunnel at the end of the light represents this energy, though, here, and you notice it's on here, and you did not succumb. So that maybe has that's the justice, like on a spiritual level for sure. And so the younger children here are like greeting the Grim Reaper, because he represents change for the better. And so this is, you know, rebirth, right? And so the one is trying to hand him a flower, which represents the bloom of new life, and, you know, accepting the change coming in. Okay, so there was this card here is talking about disappointment in love. And so, you know, quite often with the cards that are coming out here that are the cups, we have like this energy of the heartbreak, and there could be a third party, and then this energy of a third party energy here again. We have this energy of opportunities and gifts being taken. So that's not necessarily romantic, but this quite often represents a third party energy. And the third party energy, like we have 2 cups and a third one here. This could represent that there was a pregnancy from the third party energy. So that this could be the ultimate gift of all, which is a beautiful baby, but it's not such a great joyful event if you're sitting under the tree disappointed because your partner was cheating on you. So there could be some energy there. This can also represent 3 different times having relationships that didn't work out. And it could be, it doesn't have to be about romantic love. This could be about, you know, with family members or friends or whatever. And then it can also be about business partners, that kind of energy. So, you know, it's a mixed bag here. And then sometimes this can also represent the energy of, you've given someone 3 chances and they're coming back in and saying, can I have another chance? And you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not giving you another chance. I'm going for the new. I'm on a new path. Thanks. No thanks. And that's the happiest thing you can do. So this is now being back on your path. And I do feel that this sitting on here was that when you were in this position, and you know, between 2 and 4 in the morning, we'll sometimes wake up and we get an inspiration, and it's because Holy Spirit comes over us and delivers messages from God through our intuition and our dreams. And so this is talking the happiest card in the deck. So this is now reflecting sunshine over the whole thing, saying, okay, this has happened, but let's move forward. You're meant to be happy. This is what you are meant to be. You're a child of God. You've been staying on your path. You are on a new cycle now, and you're going to be happy. Damn it, you're going to be happy. This is a banner here showing that this is your destiny. You are always supposed to be in this energy. And you look at the energy, I feel like this is talking about this energy here of the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands has a sunflower here. So I feel like you are probably normally a very happy person when this kind of energy wasn't happening to you. But even for you to be able to get up from this is like real, and be back in this energy, you know, congratulations. You know, like it shows like a lot of resilience, and that's why you're being seen in this energy now. And this is the wands again as well. So let's see what else. So there was juggling of morals and juggling of pentacles, I feel. And it maybe had something to do with someone that was a lover in your, that disappointed you. So this could talk about someone juggling, you know, this is multitasking, being very busy. But it can also represent juggling pentacles, juggling morals. And with these cards, it feels like someone was juggling both your pentacles and their morals by cheating, you know, in the relationship. This is the obstacles, and this is the courage to face what really happened. And then we have, now that you know what you know, you're standing on your conviction. Definitely it's the same wand energy. So this is someone who is willing to fight for what they have. And that's what you did. Like, I know what I know, and I have conviction beyond a doubt that I know what I know. And I am going to, you're not just taking from me what is mine. I want my money back. I want my name back. I want everything back that you took from me. And and it's sitting, and God is saying, and I'm going to make sure that you get that 100-fold. And these people, whatever they wished for you, is now going to be their karma. So if they wished for you to be homeless, they're going to be homeless. If they wished for you to be left out in the cold and isolated from society, that's where they're going to feel. If they wish that you have people walking away from you because your reputation is being ruined, that's what's going to happen to them. If they wish that you would, there was gossip and slander and that your reputation would be ruined, that's what's going to happen to them. That's the kind of energy. So it's, you know, luckily you survived it, so they will too. That's the energy. Conviction beyond a doubt. And this person is fighting for what they know is what now they know what they know what happened. They're like, I'm not backing down here. And they have one boot on and one shoe on. So this can represent having to race out and protect what's yours, and not watching what you put on your feet. Or possibly it could just be talking about you're in the middle of this right now, in this energy, you know, one foot in one world and one foot in the other. We have, oh, and look at, it's the competition. So that was the immature competition. And the immature competition represents, it's my Mean Girls card. It's when, if you think of young people in high school or even in elementary school, a cheerleading team, and they're narcissistic and they want to win and they can see the other team beat them. But instead of just accepting that, hey, this other team is better, and learning from them, being inspired by them, they decide, we got to get that trophy one way or another. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will do the best to make sure that they do. So it's that kind of energy. After you mature, you realize that when you're in competition, even if you're on a team or whatever you're in competition for or whatever, really it's a competition within yourself, because what you want to do is, no matter how much pressure there is, you're going to do your best performance that you've ever done. If you're 1% better than you were last time, it's a huge accomplishment. And if you have that attitude, and the people on your team have that attitude, and learn from the competition instead of getting all like worked up over a trophy, then trophies are fun to win. I'm not saying they're not, but it's not the reason why most people are in competitions, or should be. This is talking about the Knight. Okay, so this is the first real communication coming in officially anyway. This is, the Knights would, in the old days, they would run communication between different kingdoms, and you know, that was the only long distance communication they had. So this energy of the Knight of Swords is talking about some sort of communication coming in. And the Knight, this Knight here, he is considered kind of to be a fool rushing in, because he has a red flag on his helmet here. You can only see half his sword, so he might only have half the information. We can't see the point, and maybe he can't either. His horse is totally stressed out. He's running against the wind through barren land. And sometimes this can represent the energy of a fool rushing in, or someone who's running away from this conflict and towards someone to give them information, or is possibly, because the competition is here, is taking some information from the competition to someone. We don't know who that is because we don't have the next card yet. Okay, so this is talking about someone is trying to figure out what to do. Should I do this or should I do that? But they can't come to a solid answer because they don't have the full information, and they're caught in this loop. It has to be this or that. So they're only using their logic at that point. This is representing like someone who's leaking energy, because in body language, when you sit like that with your feet out like that, it causes like you to lose energy. The right arm is holding the left arm back and protecting the heart. And this energy is talking about holding, this is your logical mind and this is your intuition. So the logical mind is trying to hold the intuition back. Yet the new moon in the background there is saying it's time to use your intuition for something new. There's not ever only two solutions to any problem. There's got to be a creative solution here that we can come to. So maybe the information is coming to this person here. And then we have... well, we do have some moon energy, so we have the Three of Cups energy coming here. So these people are celebrating something, but not each other. They're not looking at each other. They're all looking at the cups. So this is, they're toasting each other, but they're not toasting each other. They're toasting something that's happened, an event, or something that they feel, yay, it's gone through. This card can quite often represent the third party energy in context with these two cards. When these come up and then you have this immature competition, it can quite often be like one of these people might be the third party involved in this energy, and they're celebrating because you're down here. And they're celebrating too soon because they don't realize you're getting up. That's the kind of energy. But now maybe the information is coming to them saying they can only see that, oh, it's this way or that way, our way or the highway. And now it's like, oh my goodness, like, no, like you don't, like this person now, the situation is changing. And so in many cultures, in particular in Europe, if you toast someone, and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you because they have a superstition there. And it's like 7 years bad luck in your romantic love life if you don't look someone in the eye when you toast them. So they'll get like, look me in the eye. They take it very seriously. And it doesn't make sense. Like why, if this is romantic love, why is there three people here? And if, you know, why would you not look each other in the eye and cause 7 years bad luck in a love life? It's just that, you know, it's that kind of energy. And so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt though. And then here we have the King of Swords coming in. So this is someone who is a professional that uses their mind, their intellect to earn their living. It's someone that, you know, like this could represent the energy of using their thoughts, and, you know, thoughts can be written or verbal. And so this could be politician energy. It could actually be a king or a president or a prime minister, someone in the Senate, in the Congress, someone high up, someone who has some clout. This energy could represent a best-selling author. It could be a researcher that has now, you know, scientist energy. They have a peer-reviewed paper and they've discovered something really beneficial for the planet. This could be representing the energy of lawyers for sure, legal systems, anything to do with the law. If it is a lawyer, this lawyer would be someone that is a partner in a prestigious firm, someone that's high up. It could represent judges, head prosecutors, that kind of energy. This could be an online influencer. What other energy can I think of? You know, someone who uses their mind. And so the King of Swords is he understands how to use words. And so this is like written or verbal, and it's someone that understands the power of that, so that if you use your words, they can be used as weapons, or they can also be used to uplift. And this energy is also understanding that action speaks louder than words. So if you give your word and then you don't follow it with the appropriate action, it's going to be proving troublesome. Actually, we're seeing that right now in Canada in our political system. We have a situation going on there where, like, it's just so obvious that this person just, like, what they're saying makes no sense. So the words that they used previously are followed up by an action that is so opposite to what they said that no one can compute it. And so we're going through another, like, there's always something every day if you turn the news on. So it's like, I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking into it because I'm tired of like the energy coming in from people that you're supposed to be looking up to, and finding out, whoa, not another one. And so here's the like where you're just disappointed, in the energy. And so this here is talking about, the wounded warrior. And that's exactly the energy I'm talking about. Like, you got the job done, and yeah, but it's been a lot. It's like, it's talking about it took a lot of effort from you. But you managed to stay on your path doing it. Like, and you've got a headache from it, and you're like tired. And you're leaning hard on this ninth wand. Like, oh man. It's been a lot to get this landed, like, oh, and look at, talk about that, but you didn't. So it's talking about what you planned to put into place. You managed to land it, but man, it required way more effort than you thought it was going to. And to stay on your destined path was challenging because, whoa, there was a lot of energy not wanting you to, for whatever reason here. Generally, if there's this kind of money involved, though, this kind of money, people will do anything for it. Some people will do anything for money. And then this is having that balance in your life again. So this is talking about wanting to get back to some sort of balance. No more, like, not being busy, not having to be juggling all the time, like having this justice come in so you can chill out a little. So the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge upside down so he can gain a different perspective on what's going on. And then when the light is shining around his head there, the aura, it's like, okay, now I know what direction to go in and have balance in my actions so that I start having the peace that I want in my life and get more back into this energy. Yeah, now you're a rebel with a cause. And that could represent the Empress energy here. It's hard to, it could be one way or the other. It could be several ways because this is several different people's story. But the Knight of Wands is the rebel with a cause. So this is about being very passionate, coming in with this information. Woohoo, you won. Like, whatever this is, if there was a court, whatever, you won. That's the communication coming in. You won because you reined in your emotions. And this is this energy here. You reined in your emotions, and it made you a leader. And you were able to you see the Knight of Wands, you can see the plume on the back of his head shows that he has a lot of, he might have a temper, but he's learned to rein it in because and the horse represents your emotion of being very passionate and heartfelt and caring about, being on your path and being enthusiastic again. So that energy is going to be replenished to you. This is talking about, so someone who has a lot of power here and a lot of lifestyle, a lot of money coming in, someone who's blessed with a lot. This is on a new journey, and this is talking about having a closed mind that needs opening. If you're going to go on this journey, and I feel this is representing the people around you, though, are not wanting to see you go on this new journey because they had you here. But judgment is being called. And so they celebrated too soon, and balance is being brought to the entire situation. And really, everything that happened here Here you are reining in your emotion here, like right here. And now it's like you're even more passionate than you were before they started with that. So that you managed to land all this that you had put into motion that they tried to take, and no, it's yours. You're wounded, you're tired, but you did it. And it's you are, now that you know what you know, conviction beyond a doubt. You're not backing down from this energy, and you're not going to have to juggle pentacles anymore, that's for sure. And this is maybe someone coming into your life to add to it, but right now that's not the gist of this. This is about getting back on your feet and standing strong in your own independence, in your own power. And this is also saying sometimes rejection is God's protection. So this energy did protect you because it separated you from all of this energy. I feel there's a lot of legalities here. We've got judgment coming in, this really nasty energy. We have the Hierophant wanting justice. We have maybe perjury in court. We have people walking away from a situation or trying to, leaving someone out in the cold, like really going out of the way to take someone down. This can represent an actual prison sentence, like not just a mental prison, but a prison. It could have involved someone that was really dear to you. It involves a lot of money. It involves a closed mind energy. There is competition for sure, and conviction beyond a doubt can actually be a prison sentence. This is an energy of the King of Swords quite often represents lawyers and people celebrating too soon, and you landing whatever project this was and ending up being even more passionate about what you were doing in the first place. So it's just kind of wild energy. It's kind of like, it's sad. Like if all these people had put the effort into their own journey here, then you would all be celebrating together, you know? So ridiculous. Like to want someone else's path. Why, like, you have your own special unique qualities. Why would you want to be in someone else's shoes, basically? It doesn't make sense. So we're going to clarify this. If you're leaving and you're like, nope, this is good. We know you're at the top here. Leave while the getting's good. But I'm going to clarify for those that want more clarification. And this is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I'm an artist. I did 64 paintings, and I started them in 2007. And by 2020, I'd completed them all. And now I'm getting ready to bring the tarot or the oracle deck out, but I'm working on the information, and I have a lot of written information, but I wanted to play with the cards a bit. So the numbers on these cards represent the paintings, how they're listed in my gallery on my website, and I will put them in the order they come here. So if you want to check it out, they say a picture paints 1,000 words. So it might give you further clarity, or you might just be interested in the information. So we have definitely a transition coming in. So this energy is ending. And we have that twice here. So it's talking about, that's the overlying energy, or underlying and overlying energy, is that definitely this situation is in transition as we speak. We do have the superstar energy coming in. So this is talking about the star energy and you being able to speak your truth now, having harmony in your words. Judgment is coming in, the guiding star. So this is about you following your destined path, which is why this justice is coming in. We have the father figures. So this is sitting right, like, I hope not, but it could represent even a father figure, someone that you considered a mentor, or you know, your actual father, like, I hope not, that kind of energy, someone that you looked up to as a father figure being involved in this energy for some unknown reason. We have the moon energy coming in, and this is talking about discipline of your mind creates freedom, and by doing that, you have to use your intuition for creative solutions. We do have a new moon coming in on the 17th. of April here. So what is it today? I think we're pretty close here. We're about a week away. And then we have the ego. So this is a karmic space. Yeah, this is like that energy that I'm talking about. Like, why would people go to all this trouble to try and take from someone something that wasn't theirs? And a bunch of people, like, wasn't there someone in the crowd here that said this is not a good idea? And so that tells me that they've gotten away with it in the past. And so this time they're not getting away with it because you didn't succumb. And they're pissed off that you didn't. Like, they're shocked. Like, what? This always works. This is how we earn our living. Oh my goodness. But eventually justice comes in. That's actually what they're thinking. They're pissed off because, what? This person didn't succumb? What kind of justice is that? This always works. What could I, like, why isn't this working for me, God? Come on. Okay, that's funny. All right, so we have, this is very immature energy, but we have the Taurus energy here. This is toddler energy, so maybe they were in that energy. No offense to Taurus energy. When the signs come in, I'm not talking about an individual person in my readings. I'm talking about the qualities that each of the signs, the horoscope signs have. And in, what can we learn from each sign? Every sign has its strengths and its weaknesses. The Taurus energy is talking about love, and it's talking about the give and take of that. And it's talking about the give and take in the universe. And is it fair give and take? And is it even, what are you investing your time, your money, and your energy in? Who are you investing in? Is it a fair exchange? And learning that. Toddlers, when they start out, they are really lovable. And that's one thing they can teach us, is how to love. But at the same time, you ask them to share when they don't want to, and they're like a bull in a china shop. And that's the energy of the Taurus. The Taurus energy is the glyph is a bull, and it's representing having that stubbornness. And so this is something that, adults that know way better, behaving like a toddler, basically. By the time you go to kindergarten, the Gemini energy, right from wrong. It's come on. So this is like, are you going to use your logic and your intuition to get to creative solutions? And so it's interesting because the kindergarten energy, this is Gemini energy, it's the third sign after this. When we go to kindergarten, that's when we first start realizing, oh, not everybody lives the same as my family. When you're at school every day and you start like being around other people, and you start noticing, oh, that for one thing, their skin is a different color, their culture is different, their parents are different from my parents, they live differently, they eat different food, that kind of energy. So it's like when we realize, oh, like our world expands, people talk about, in the spiritual realm, we'll talk about dimensions, like a fairy dimension or a dimension of unicorns or, even of dragons, whatever. But when scientists and physicists are talking about dimensions, they're talking about the context of space, like the size. Size matters. That kind of like thinking outside the box, like, and as the, how big is your box? And that's like the dimension. And this is Aquarius. So the Aquarius energy is very much about that. Aquarius energy is like a scientist observing what's happening and being ready to experiment. Okay, I'm going to try a little experiment here. If I do it this way, what happens? And if it's a positive result, well, I'm going to double up on that because that worked. And if it's a negative result, well, then I won't do that again. It's that kind of energy. And we've moved into the age of Aquarius. I feel that happened around 2020 for sure. But when we move from Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And I feel like a lot of people don't recognize that maybe we've moved into the age of Aquarius because all the hippies from the 60s that were like, at Woodstock and that, they were singing about it being like the age of Aquarius, and it was such a lighthearted And when it came in kind of differently from that energy, I really feel that might have a significant effect. To move from one age to the next takes 2,160 years. So, you know, some people aren't noticing this energy, but some people are. And so it's more of like experimenting, and the AI is kind of a part of that. This is an air sign. The Pisces energy was more emotional. We have the foolhardy, so being on a strong path, like when you start at the 0 point as the fool, staying on your destined path and using the experience that you collected in the last, your observations from the last cycle you were in, and if you've learned from them, being able to be on a stronger journey, a better version of yourself. The sun is shining on your journey now. And that was shown here. Like, this is your destined path. You were supposed to be in this energy. You weren't supposed to be in this energy here. But you learned a lot from it, and it propelled you forward into that energy, even more determined to be happy and be the person that you were meant to be, basically. And then this is dissemination of information. So that's when you start believing in yourself. When you think, hey, you know what, that person doesn't deserve that. I deserve that. I'm going to take it. And there's an elephant in the room, but you don't see it. And it's kind of like, elephant? What elephant? I don't see an elephant. Dissemination of information is scrambled information. When people talk in, words, and they scramble them so that, or they use words that are part of the, and this isn't always intentional, but every profession has its own language. So there's legalese, there's medical, like, where if a doctor talks to you, you need to go and look up what he said, Google it, what does that mean? That kind of energy. Everybody, physicists have their own language. Any profession you get into, really, any hobby, people will be talking about it. And if you don't know anything about that, you'll be like, what are they talking about? Unless you understand, start to understand their language. And so it's kind of that energy. We have the Hierophant again coming in, and this is on this wounded warrior energy. So this is talking about traditional structure coming in. So this isn't just justice on a spiritual level. It's not just about karma and that. It's about justice in the third dimensional world as well. And we have the High Priestess saying, use your intuition at this time. It could be very beneficial for you. You'll find creative solutions instead of ending up, and really this is saying, I think the moral of this one is, why would you go after someone else's destiny as if you can take it when it was given to them by God, and like not focus on your own? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, that's I guess that's just the question that I'm left with here. I'm kind of like, I mean, I've seen this in a lot of readings, and I know it could mean that the person maybe, and that's why I guess God is the only one that is really qualified to judge other people, because only God would know why they would be in that position and would give them a lot of chances to correct their behavior before punishment or judgment being brought down. So I do hope you've enjoyed this and that you've received some benefit from it. Please do give it a like and comment. If so, consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another daily reading for you tomorrow. I've got to wake up my little cat here now. She's been purring away. All right, bye for now.